Today's project, we're going to go from this to this. Raise the intake and the exhaust for the furnace, because here on the back side of the house, we've got a concern with snow plugging the intake, which is the lower pipe here. So if you take a measurement, you can see we're at about 18-19 inches off the ground. We do know that sometimes we get snow drifts that are about 24 inches off the ground. So we're going to go ahead and we're going to raise this intake, and then in turn we're going to have to raise this exhaust. Okay, so first thing we need to do is identify the inlet and the exhaust. So if you take your access panel off the furnace, you see this blower assembly. This is the power vent. So we can establish that this is the exhaust pipe and this is the intake. And then if you trace them all the way over to the termination points, that's how you can determine which one's the exhaust and the intake. Now typically the intake should be the lower pipe and the exhaust should be the upper pipe. But just to be sure, go ahead and trace that. Now that we've established the intake and the exhaust, we're going to go ahead and we're going to cut these pipes. There's already coupling on the intake here. We're going to cut it just behind this coupling here so we can attach our new pipe to it, and then we're going to go ahead and transfer that same cut so that these are both flush to each other. Okay, with both pipes cut, you can see this one I deburred, this one I haven't yet. So you go ahead and take a round rasp. You're just going to go ahead and clean out the inside and the outside. That's how you deburr it. So in talk with the homeowner, we established that the bottom of this siding is where we think the snow line is going to be on the south side of the house here. So we are going to establish 12 inches up as the minimum for the intake, but in discussing it with them, we said we actually want to go a little bit higher. So we're going to use this marking for the bottom of our intake, and then per code you have to go an additional 12 inches in distance for the exhaust. So that's going to be the intake and that's going to be the exhaust up there. So quick tech tip, if you just put a piece of tape on the siding there, you'll never lose your point of reference when you're cutting pipe. That's it.
Wow.
Put this so the writing is inches, 3 inches. Okay. Last two joints for these, and then we'll put them on the house. Lined up. Okay, here's the final product. So just to point out, this is PVC piping, and in new construction, they actually use flue pipe and gas pipe that's rated for this application. Being that this house is a little bit older and they just use regular plumbing Schedule 40 pipe, we just replaced it with some new pieces. So this would be fine for this application. Thanks for watching.